It's Local Edition. Brad Pomerance here. We are joined by Stephen Houlahan. He is a councilman in the city of Santee. A new councilman. He was elected in 2016 during the November election. You did it.
Yes, sir, I did. Thank you.
It was not easy. 3 viable candidates ran. You came out on top. What went right?
Well, the first thing that went right were the volunteers of my organization who did a stellar job and were with me every step of the way. So by no means can I claim all responsibility. And also the people of Santee. The people of Santee showed up and they backed me. And they liked my message, and I'm going to be consistent with that message.
And let's talk about that because, look, it was a nice win. Over 40% of the vote. The other 2 candidates split the rest. So obviously your message rang true to a very significant number of voters. What was that message and what were you hearing and how did you put together your coalition?
Well, first, the number one message is neighborhoods first. And that means the neighborhoods of Santee that are there now. The second message is we need infrastructural improvements before we need more residential development.
And we'll talk about that.
Indeed.
Continue.
Indeed. And so we need to put community first, and that's the message. And the good thing, the beauty of Santee is the community. And so we are rich in community. It's a great place. People come out to Santee Lakes to go fishing from all over the place. It's wonderful. We have great parks, great schools, and a great climate.
How old's your son?
My son is 7.
What did he say when he found out Dad won?
He was so excited. In fact, he was jumping on my bed early that morning.
Did he find out the night or the next morning?
No, I was not letting him stay up all night, but he had an idea because the initial vote tallies were very favorable. And so, but that morning it was great because he woke up early before myself or my wife, and he was jumping in the bed and he was jumping for joy.
Fantastic. I want to talk about development. There's no question that Santee, with a lot of open space, has been. Developers are looking at Santee. They see it. San Diego's growing. It's a place where the county can grow. The Castlerock development, we've discussed that. Remind our viewers about Castlerock before we talk about another potential development.
All right. Well, there is a lot of development going on in Santee currently, and the big one, the elephant in the room, is the Castlerock development. 415 homes. Some are single-family dwellings, some are detached condos.
And the tricky matter behind this Castlerock development is it is in the city of San Diego, but it's going to be turned over to the city of Santee, and Santee didn't have a say as to whether the development would move forward. It was voted upon by San Diego, but now it falls into your backyard.
It's a long story, but I'll accept your synopsis.
Okay.
I'll accept your synopsis. However, I believe that Santee needs more say in what's going on adjacent to their community. And so unfortunately, what's done is done. And so Castlerock is going forward, 415 homes. And when people do move in, we're going to accept them as part of our community. It will be annexed into Santee. And fortunately for them, they will be able to use the infrastructure that we have and the amenities we have.
But now that you're on the city council, is there a way for you to somehow impact the project to the benefit of Santee?
The project is going to happen, and we're going to make it the best it can be. And so through workshops, meeting with the people, and also meeting with the developer, because this isn't going to be done tomorrow. It's going to take years.
Of course.
We're going to make it the best it can be, and that way that the people that live in the Castlerock development will have the best possible development. But the other thing is although we are going to talk about the biggest elephant in the room, but there are a number of other developments. So there are developments that are going to go through in Santee no matter what. So there's the Mission Trails collection. It's already built and sold, and that's right off Father Juniper Serra Road, Bushy Hill, Simeon area.
But let me ask you about one of the biggest potential, and that's Fanita Ranch.
Yes, sir.
Fanita Ranch was approved back in 2007, but several courts have looked at Fanita Ranch and they have ruled against its development for a variety of reasons. Fire impacts, impacts to species, impacts to water. But as I understand it, Fanita Ranch, which is a beautiful open space, and I'm not taking a position, but if you look at it, it's quite beautiful. it's still kind of out there as a potential space for development. What can you tell us?
Well, the people of Santee had a referendum vote in 1999, and that referendum vote was to not go forward. The city council at the time had voted for it to move forward with that development. Then, fast forward it to recent times, the city council has approved it yet again. However, when it went to an administrative law judge, they stopped that development mainly on the premise that fire could cause that whole development to be destroyed. There's a lot of sitting fuel out there, a lot of dry brush, and there's limited options for how to get in and out. And the primary way everybody would have to get in and out of the Fanita Ranch development would be down Mass Boulevard. So right now, Mass is terribly impacted by traffic. And so if we're looking at potentially 2, 3, or more thousand homes being built on the Fanita Ranch property, and they would all have to use the infrastructure that exists in Santee currently, which is already heavily burdened.
So let's talk about traffic, because that's one of the most significant issues that faces your community. The 57, I don't even know what to say about it.
The 52.
I misspoke.
The 52.
Thinking of more farther north. The 52, it's painful.
It is. It's a painful experience that I go through every day because I have to work in Kearney Mesa, and 70% of the working people of Santee have to take the 52 to get in and out, and not to mention those who live further to the east. And initially it's already a flawed design. It's too many cars in too small of a space. And so, but the 52, there's not a lot that Councilman in Santee is going to do about the 52, because we know Prop A did not go through.
And I want to talk about that because Measure A on the ballot here in San Diego County to provide funding for transportation, it needed 2/3. It got in the mid-50s, I think. Your friends in LA County passed their Measure M with, I think 75% of the vote. I mean, this is difficult. It's tough because in order for projects to move forward, like transportation, you often need local matching dollars, and now San Diego County doesn't have that ability.
We don't have it.
I mean, you have a prior measure that passed, but nothing current.
Well, the issue being is 52 wasn't necessarily going to be the front of the queue for improvement.
Do you think that's part of the reason it failed?
Well, I'm sure that's why most of the people of Santee may not have been in support of it, because we'd have been paying a tax, and potentially we still wouldn't have seen the fruits of paying that tax until the year 2048.
So what can Santee do? Because like you said, to fix the 52 is not a local project.
Not a local
project. This is a
project.
regional project. And the San Diego Council of Government, I mean, there's so many different entities. Sacramento's still in special session on transportation. Nothing's happening. The gas tax is not providing the funding that's needed for infrastructure. What do you do?
Well, first of all, we need to just pause on approving additional development. So we have Castlerock going in. I just talked about the Mission Trails collection. There's many more developments that are going in also. We had a steakhouse, the Pinnacle Peak. That's since moved and closed, and there's going to be apartments built there, or single bedroom condos.
Right.
We used to have a Bobby Sox field and this green open space. That's going to be called the Prospect Estates. People don't even know about these things. Over next to Hill Creek School is a subdivision called the Braverman subdivision. So there is development that's coming in. It's been approved by the previous council, but now there's additional development in the pipeline.
Let's talk about that when we come back.
I will.
Okay, his name is Stephen Houlahan. He is a new member of the Santee City Council. My name is Brad Pomerance. It's Local Edition.